Okay. Okay, guys. So I think we was having some technical issues with the audio, and hopefully that should be fine now. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me see the letters RTG in the chat, and let me see ready to go. We are seeming to look like we are frozen on YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on with that today, guys. Maybe hit the refresh. If you hit the refresh, let's see if you hit the refresh if you can get us, guys. Okay, we were supposed to be ready to go. All right, we're refreshing on our side, guys. Let's see if we can get this going today for today's show. Episode 68, the one that we're ready to go, needs to be the one where we're having some technical difficulties on the show. Okay, guys, you should be able to hear me right about now, hopefully. Or maybe not. Yeah, I went live just after that, so I think it might be slightly delayed. I'm not sure, guys. Actually, this is what's the problem. Okay. Guys, you should be with me now. You should be hearing me now. I do apologize. Woo. Guys, technical. We get technical over here. All right, guys. So what we've just done is hopefully fix the problem that we were having. Let me know in the chat if you are with us. Let me know if you can hear us by stating in the chat RTG, which stands for ready to go. If you are ready to go, let me know in the chat that you are ready to go. We do apologize for the technical issues. I think it's because I restarted our timer and then shut the timer off because I didn't want you guys to wait any longer, because I had the value for you guys. I was ready to go. So if you are ready to go for tonight's show, episode 68, let me know in the chat by seeing RTG in the chat, ready to go in the chat, and let me know if you are ready to go, guys. We've had some issues with the audio. Hopefully those audio issues will not persist. Hopefully we will be able to go on today's show. We're being told we're not receiving enough bandwidth. I'm not sure what's going on with this today. Let's see if you guys can catch up with us, if we can get live, and if we can have our show, because we want to give you the value that we got prepared for you guys on today's show. All right, guys, if you can hear me, let me know in the chat. I got frozen visuals. I'm not sure what that means. The visuals are frozen. Is the audio frozen too? Let me know in the chat, guys. I got Mrs. I Can Win trying to support the cause right here. Guys, let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you are ready to go. Got a lot of content to share with you guys today. I'm surprised that the internet overlords are trying to delay today's show. But without further ado, we will definitely be ready to go very soon, guys. So I'm not so sure what is happening with today's stream. Let's hope that we can hopefully get on today's stream properly. Yogesh says he can't hear. Mrs. I Can Win says frozen visuals. Thank you guys for the feedback. Thank you for letting me know. I'm not sure. Have you tried to refresh, guys? Have you tried to refresh? Let me know if you've tried to refresh. Let me know. Let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully we're going to get our stream on. Can hear now, but frozen visuals. Okay, that's not good. All right, what we're going to do about this, guys. Episode 68. Guys, you want this secret. If you want this secret, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you want this secret. If you want this secret, we will make this happen. Guys, I'm actually shocked that YouTube is slowing us down today. But like I said, guys, we'll get this done. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you are ready to go. And let me know if you want today's secret, episode 68, the secret we will be sharing. Let me know if you guys want it. If you guys want it, we'll make it happen. Let me know if you guys want the secret. Okay, I'm being told maybe try a different camera. Let's see if that's going to work. You guys apparently can all hear me, but not see me, which is a little bit weird, which is slightly weird. All right, I got KTR in the chat who says, hello, Samuel. Hello, KTR. Great to have you on the stream. I hope everybody can hear me now. I hope everybody can see me now. I'm being told that the visuals are frozen. I'm not sure if it's the camera. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Okay, we're still working this out, guys. We're still working this out. Okay, my connection is now excellent, so that's helpful. So hopefully, oh, here we go. Come on, this is what I need. I got KTR who says ready to go. I said I'm ready to go too. I got Mandy who says ready to go. This is what I need, guys. I need that fire, guys, so we can sort this out and get pumping. All right, guys, let me know if you are ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. We might have to do a BRB and just sort this out for 2 minutes. So good day, good day, good day, good day, and welcome back to the Impact Investing Show. Guys, I do apologize about all of the technical issues that were taking place a moment ago. Internet connection, all of the other stuff. I don't even know what to say. I can hear that you guys can hear me now. I can see the word secret coming through the chat. Guys, the chat was slightly delayed for me a moment ago, so I didn't know that you could all hear me properly, but now I know that you can hear me, can see fine, okay too, can hear you now and see you, and I see the word secret in the chat, so that tells me that you guys want the secret. Guys, I do apologize for all of those technical issues, but I'm telling you, I really do hope you're ready to go, because it's episode 68, and let me tell you something, guys. We have a secret and insight for you. Okay, we have a secret and an insight for you, and I want you guys to buckle up your seatbelts, because we're gonna have ultimate levels of value in today's show. Now, I've already seen some RTGs in the chat. I've seen people are ready to go. I had KTR in the chat who said ready to go. I had Mandy in the chat who said ready to go. I got pumped and had to put ready to go. So you guys know that this is going to be one of them fiery streams if you guys are ready with me, in order for us to jump into exactly what we've got to share with you on episode 68. Guys, episode 68, man. Episode 68. Sometimes I do sit back and think, how did you get to your 68th episode? How did you just keep on going? Let me ask you a question, guys. How would you feel if episode 70 was our last episode? Let me know how you'd feel. I want to know about your feelings right now. I want to know about your emotions and your feelings. How would you feel if episode 70 was our last episode of the Impact Show? Let me know, guys. Let me know. I'm just interested. I'm curious. I want to know how you guys would feel if we said, you know what, it's time to wrap up the show. It's time to no longer keep getting ready to go. It's time to transition onto something else and something new. Let me know in the chat, guys. How would you feel if episode 70 was our last episode? Okay, I'm just putting the feelers out. I want to know how you guys feel about it, because this show is not about me. This show is about you guys. It's about the value that we give to you and how we help you guys move further, faster in your property investing journey. Now, I'm ready to jump in. Are you ready to go with me? Because I hope you are, and we have an awesome show for today. Now, guys, for those of you who are brand new to the channel, this is the Impact Properties channel where you get, yes, you get creative property investing on demand. Today is episode 68. That means we have been showing up for 68 weeks back to back. The internet tried to stop that today, but you can't hold a good man down.
That was easy.
And that's easy. All right, so for episode 68, let me share with you guys some stuff. What have we covered over the last few weeks? Okay, what did we cover over the last few weeks? Over the last few weeks, what we actually covered, interestingly enough, was the income surfing strategy. That was last week's episode 67. Okay, and if you didn't watch episode 67, my large advice for you is to go back and watch episode 67. Episode 67 is a very, very insightful episode. It shows you quite a bit about the power of investing and investing with specific strategies. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is tap into episode 67. That's the income surfing strategy, which I spoke about last week. I think it was an extremely valuable session for many of you who did tune in. And for those of you who didn't tune in, like I said, episode 67 is still up on YouTube. Feel free to go back and watch that. Now, prior to episode 67, in episode 66, I shared with you guys a phenomenal episode where I was talking to you about what me and Philip Spencer, the TV personality, actually agree on when it comes to property investing. If you saw episode 66, let me just see the 66 in the chat. If you saw episode 66, where I was breaking down what me and Philip Spencer actually agree on as it pertains to property. And the episode before that, which for me was a very thought-provoking episode, is one of those episodes that you don't get every single day. But the episode before that was episode 65, where I spoke about the next generation of property investing success. I'm going to say that one more time. Episode 65, I spoke about the next generation of property investing success, and that was an extremely powerful episode. Okay, and I don't usually say that a lot of the time because I don't like blowing my own trumpet, but I can tell you episode 65 was an extremely powerful episode, and we spoke about the next generation. We didn't just speak about what the next generation takes away from us, you know, as another generation, but we also spoke about what we get from the next generation in order for us to be even more effective as property investors, in order for us to be even more effective as people in the property industry, generating returns, etc., etc., etc. So that's what the last few weeks look like. Now, you know, if you've been on the show before, if this is not your first time, you know, just write in the chat BHB, been here before. You guys know BHB means been here before. If you're someone who's brand new and you're tuning in for the first time, what I love for you to do is just write in the chat the word new. Okay, just write for me in the chat the word new, and there's going to be a reason why we're doing that, because in a moment we're going to open up a great opportunity for you guys as well. Now, to keep us pushing forward on tonight's show, all right, now we've jumped over the hurdle of the technical issues. Okay, I want to ask you guys a question. Okay, you guys are my community. You're a community that I spend a lot of time with and I invest in terms of the live show on a weekly basis, 7 p.m. UK time, GMT currently, BST at times. And guys, I want to ask you a key question. And that key question is, who would you like us, or who would like us, should I say, to put on a masterclass? Okay, so we've done this in 2020. Throughout the whole of 2020, we put on a series of masterclasses to help you guys move further, faster in your property investing journey. Okay, but what I'd like to know is who out of you guys, who would like us to put on a masterclass where we will be sharing with you how we will actually be winning in property throughout Q3, the rest of Q3 and Q4 of this year. Okay, now the reason I'm asking this question is because there is a key instrumental change that's going to take place in the property industry. It's kind of already taken place partly, and I want to know who wants to win with me. Okay, because you can win in property, that's fine. You can win with your friends and family, and you can win with me. So if you're one of those people who's potentially interested in participating, being on, and learning what I'm going to be doing to win in property throughout Q3 and Q4 of 2021, of the rest of this year, what I want you to do is just write in the chat, I want the masterclass. Okay, I want the masterclass. I want the masterclass. 4 words, very simple. Okay, Give me those 4 words so I know that you are looking forward to us setting things up, to us delivering a level of value where I personally share with you what me and my team are going to be doing specifically, okay, not ambiguously, specifically throughout quarter 3 and quarter 4 of this year in order to generate more returns, okay? I've got Dana in the chat who says, hey Sam, hey Dana, great to have you on the stream. I know you're not new. For those of you who don't know, Dana has been a guest on the show, and it's always great to have Dana on. Dana, thank you for gracing us with your presence on tonight's stream. So guys, as I've said, let me know, okay, if you would be interested in us running a masterclass to show you guys how I'm going to be winning in the Q3 and Q4 of the rest of this year. Let me know in the chat by stating I want the masterclass, okay? Because what I want you guys to understand is throughout 2020 we ran a series of masterclasses which helped people take advantage by understanding the landscape that we were in, okay? But what's actually happening over time is many people are not realizing what they need to do next, okay? And I'll break this down for you guys before we even jump into the content for today's show, because I think this is even more valuable content. Q3 and Q4 are going to see a very, very big change in the property scene. I'm going to break this down for you. 2 things. 1, the reduction of the stamp duty holiday, which is in the pipeline right now. But 2, the end of the stamp duty holiday. And even the secret I'm going to be speaking with you guys on this episode about lines up with this whole stamp duty myriad of scenarios and issues. And there's going to be some of you who are going to understand exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this masterclass, because you're going to jump on that masterclass, you're going to take great notes, and you're going to be in an advantaged position for the rest of Q3 and also for the rest of Q4. But equally, let me say it, I do want to say it, I want to be honest, there's equally going to be some of yous who aren't necessarily maybe going to be interested in jumping into such a masterclass, and as a result, you obviously know what's going to happen. You know, you may be blindsided, as they say sometimes. That's sometimes the terminology. And you may miss certain things that you shouldn't have missed. So if you would like us to run a masterclass breaking down for you guys how I'm going to be winning in Q3, quarter 3 and quarter 4 of the rest of this year, let me know in the chat by just simply saying I want the masterclass. Now, with that being said, it's today's show, episode 68. And in today's show, we're going to be speaking about the simple secret about property investing for you to see. And this is the funniest thing. This isn't about me. This is for you to see who not to trust. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time, because you might not have realized that there are certain people you're not supposed to trust as you start to invest in property. But this specific secret we're sharing in today's episode is for you to see. Okay, just like right now, you see right now, you can see the desk, you can see the tea, you can see the phone, the handset, you can see. This is for you to see. Okay, this ain't about what other people see, because let me tell you something, some people have access but just don't see. So today's episode is all about how you can see who you are not supposed to trust and why on your property journey. Okay, so this secret is going to be powerful. I've got Mandy in the chat, I've got Mrs. I Can Win in the chat. Guys, I love it when you guys show up. All right, I love it when you guys show up. I'm going to say that. I want you guys to understand that I love it when you guys show up. Okay, because what you got to remember is I don't do this show for me, guys. I do this show for you guys. Okay, I don't do this show for me, guys. I do this show for you guys. So it's always great to see you guys when you do show up. Now, with that being said, should we jump straight in? I think we should jump straight in. Let's jump straight in. All right. I want the masterclass. I see the comments coming in, guys. I want the masterclass. Guys, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Okay, if you want the masterclass, let me know you want the masterclass so we can deliver that for you. All right, now, first and foremost, let me welcome you to the Impact Investing Show. Okay, this is the Impact Properties YouTube channel, and if this is your first time here, I just want to say a great big welcome to you. I am your property coach, Samuel I Can Win, and it is my pleasure and joy to take you on your property journey and show you the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the hurdles that are waiting to catch you by your ankle and leave you on the floor. Now, I don't want that to happen to you. And I heard something from a mentor when I was 19 years old, a number of years ago, and it was a very simple statement. But what that statement was why take 70 years to learn what you can learn in 7 hours by training, learning, reading the book of someone who took 70 years to learn it. Now, guys, let me tell you something. When you hear that at the age of 19, that can change your life. And the reason I say it can change your life is because it changed my life. It massively changed my life. Look, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get some clap hands in the chat. Okay, let me even give some applause here. Let's get some clap hands in the chat for the coach sharing such powerful words for me. Okay, I'm even applauding right here because I want you guys to understand it was those words I heard at the age of 19 that set me up for some real success. Those words that I heard at the age of 19, which allowed me to indoctrinate myself with a life of personal development, a life of continued learning to become a lifelong learner. Now, the reason this is so powerful and so important is because being equipped to that degree, being equipped to that level, okay, where I've shared with myself, you know what, it's true. I don't need to take 70 years to learn what someone has already taken 70 years to learn and has written it all in a book, or has created an online program, or has a mastermind group, or is taking one-to-one coaching clients. Like, guys, let me tell you something. Can I level with you? Let me see the word level. Okay, let me just see the word level. If I see the word level in the chat enough, I'm gonna level with you guys. You see, there's a big difference, okay, between knowing it all and knowing you don't know it all. There's a big difference. And it's for those of us who understand that we don't know it all that set ourselves up for the most amount of success. Okay, you see, the people that are winning in life right now, they're people who made a decision that they're not going to act like they know it all. Okay, and I just want to encourage you, if you're someone who's new, who's tuning in for the first time, just take that soundbite. Just take that soundbite if that's the only thing you take. Just understand, one, the first thing that a coach taught me when I was 19, don't take 70 years to learn what you can learn in 7 hours by reading the book of someone who took 70 years to learn it. Take that first. But then secondly, what I want you to take is that you don't need to live the way you don't want to live if you don't want to. You can shift out of that. Okay, and the key to shifting out of that is just working with the right people. All right. So if that being said, guys, I want to say a great big to every single person who's tuning in, a great big hi. If you're new, if you're not new, and I want to encourage you to make sure that you say hi in the chat, no matter who you are. If this is your first time, if it's not your first time, say hi in the chat. Let the community know that you're around, and let the community also welcome you, especially if you're new. Feel free to write the word new as you write hi. You can just write hi, I'm new, guys. Great to have you on the stream, whoever you are. Now, for those of you who do not know, we have the donation link in the description of the video. That's down below. Okay, now the reason the donation link is in the description of the video is because questions that come in throughout the show from those who have donated during the show will be bumped to the top. Okay, so as a result, please keep the conversation happening in the chat. We always want the conversation happening in the chat. But those of you who have specific questions, feel free to jump into the link below, impactproperties.co.uk/donate, and feel free to donate. And having done so, feel free to put a £sign before your question so you can let us know that you are one of those people who have donated and you got a question to ask. Okay, the team will basically notify me anyway. They always notify me whenever somebody makes a donation. But guys, that's just a heads up to let you know how to get your questions bumped to the top. Now, let's jump into the show disclaimer. I know you guys have come for the value, and due to the technical issues we were having at the front of the show, we're gonna speed on. Okay, show disclaimer. All information provided and results given are exemplary. Each person's results may vary or differ. Results are based on consistent implementation of strategies, and we advise that you always, not sometimes, but always seek financial and legal advice from a qualified professional. Now, with all that being said, let me see some more RTGs in the chat. Let me know you guys are truly ready to go, and we are going to jump straight into episode 68, where we're going to give you guys value upon value so you guys can be primed, proper, trimmed, and inside of the simple secret about property investing. Let me know, guys. Let me know that you're ready to go. I got the ready to goes in the chat. All right, now KTR gives me the level. Okay, she wants me to scroll back and give back the levels. I'll come on to that. Mandy's giving me the level. I love this. You guys are ready to go in today's show. I'm feeling it. All right, cool. Listen, guys, let me give you the level and then I'll jump in further because I know you guys are ready for today's show. I got also Kimwin in the chat also, who gives the claps. Thank you ever so much. You guys are definitely ready to go. All right, now let's jump in. Today's show's got depth, so let's just jump in. All right, now guys, episode 68, we're talking about a simple secret. Okay, we're talking about a secret that most people do not actually know, they don't actually think about as it pertains to property investing. And because they don't know and they don't think about this secret, what it does is it disarms them. Okay, now I hope you do not want to be disarmed. Okay, if you have any kind of artillery, if you have any kind of protection, if you have any kind of resources, one of the things that you don't want to be is disarmed. Okay, now some of you know one of my, I wouldn't say favorite, but one of my enjoyable pastimes that I do on a weekly basis is kickboxing. Okay, I go to kickboxing classes. And one of the things I'll share with you is this, and this is just from a kickboxing perspective for you guys to understand. If you are armed with a form of martial arts, if you know how to kickbox, for example, and you come across someone who doesn't have a form of martial arts, okay, it's a game changer. Okay, now I'm not saying this because you want to be a bully and you want to beat people up. No, I'm saying this because of this. 3 weeks ago, in my kickboxing class, there was a young lady who was in the kickboxing class for the first time. Okay, it was her first ever kickboxing lesson. And we have these different rounds of things we do throughout the kickboxing lesson. But in this specific round, it got to sparring. Okay, and she looked around and was thinking, who am I going to spar with? I don't want to get knocked out, kind of thing. And I said to her, I'll spar with you. And she said, okay, cool, let's spar. And I spent a lot of that time sparring with her, basically training her, kind of coaching her and prepping her. Now, look, I'm not an expert by all means in kickboxing, okay? This is not me saying I'm an expert in kickboxing. But I was 2-3 steps ahead of her, so I could share with her what she needed to learn or what she needed to know, okay? Maybe more than 2-3 steps, but you get the gist. Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. Whilst we were training together, me and this young lady, the coach says, I want you to do this combo. So let's just assume the combination, combo means combination. Let's assume the combination of strikes that the coach asked us to perform was a left punch, right punch. Okay, and that you can tell I'm being very ambiguous because I don't want you guys to get lost in this story. Okay, so let's assume it's a left jab, okay, a right hook, okay, which is a punch and a punch, and a side kick with the right leg. Okay, so that's the combination, simple combination. Left, right, right. Okay. Left punch, right hook, left kick. Right kick. Okay. Left punch, right hook, right kick. Let's say that's the combination. So she performs this combination. She does quite well with the combination. Then I perform the combination. Then she performs the combination. She does quite well again with the combination. And then the coach says, okay, now I want you to spar. Okay, I want you to fight however you want to fight, just with your partner. Okay, so we start sparring. Hope you guys are ready for this. Okay, and for those of you who are thinking in the comments, did I knock her out? No, I didn't knock her out. Okay, that's not what you spar for. You don't spar to knock people out, you spar to train. Okay, so me and this young lady are sparring now. So this is called freehand. We're just doing whatever we want to do. Okay, and she's punching. She just keeps punching. All right, she keeps punching. And I said to her, I said, you should try and add in some kicks. Like, obviously, we're in a kickboxing class, but I say to her, you should try and add in some kicks. And she says, you know what? I learned boxing before. So because she learned boxing before, she's so used to just using her hands. And I said, you should really try use some kicks. Now, those of you who've met me, those of you who've seen me speak at events, or the landlord investors show, property investors show, wherever, any of those big events, or even in the pin meetings, if you've seen me present before, I'm 6'2", okay? So being 6'2", one of the joys of being so tall, or being that tall, is you have long limbs, okay? If you're lanky, you have very long limbs, but you have long limbs. And one of the things I said to her, I said, look, you're nearly as tall as me. And I said, one of the benefits when you fight of kicking is you keep a good distance from the person you're fighting. Like, your arms are usually less long, or not as long. That's the better English. Apologies. Your arms are usually not as long as your legs. So by virtue of the fact that your arms are usually not as long as your legs, when you go into combat, if you use your legs effectively, okay, that's the key word, effectively. That's why some people train. But if you use your legs effectively, what you are doing is you are keeping the person who you're fighting against, or protecting yourself against, depending on the situation, further away from you. Okay, that's one of the methods to keep people further away from you. And the reason I'm sharing this, some of you might be listening to this thinking, Samuel, why are you sharing this? Because you guys said level. I'm going to give you this level. I want you guys to understand the depth of this, the complexity of this. The reason I shared this comes to what I shared with the young lady straight after. So she tried to do a few kicks, then reverted back to doing a lot of punches. Then she got it. You could see she clicked. She started doing more kicks. Every kind of combination she would do, she'd throw in a kick. Every kind of combination, she'd throw in a kick. Every kind of combination, kick. And I was like, yeah, she's getting it. She's getting it. She's getting it. And then she said something to me. She said, Samuel, I don't get how to do this properly. I don't get how to do this properly. And I said to her something interesting. I said, look, and this is the nugget I want to take out for you guys. This is the nugget I want each and every one of you watching this with your pens, with your notepads, with your iPads, with your tablets, with your styluses or styli, whatever the correct English is. This is what I want you to take from this. Okay. She said to me, Samuel, I don't know how to do this properly. And guys, this is the same for you in your property journey. That's why I want to break this down before we go deeper into today's show. She said, Samuel, I don't know how to do this properly. And I said to her, listen, this is the thing you've got to bear in mind. I said, you are here right now training. You are here right now developing. I said, when a person attempts to attack you on the street, because that's the reason why she was training, okay? She wanted to be able to protect herself, defend herself in the midst of something if it happened, okay? So I said to her, you are here right now, you are training. I said, by virtue of the fact that you are training, you are putting yourself in a better position than if you were not here right now training. So you might think you can't do this right now. You might think, oh, you're just a beginner. And guys, I'm telling you, I'm talking property right now. You might think I'm still talking kickboxing. I'm talking property right now. You might think I'm just a beginner. You might think I've only done one deal. You might think I've only done 4 deals. You might think I'm at the start of my journey. You might count yourself out right now. I don't want you to count yourself out, because the secret I'm sharing with you guys, it's a simple secret, but the simple secret I'm sharing with you guys on episode 68 is going to help you understand that you're not out. It's going to help you understand that you've got an opportunity. And this is the reason why I asked at the top of today's show, do you guys want us to deliver a masterclass to you, sharing with you guys what I'm going to be doing to win, okay? Not just next week, for the rest of Q3 and Q4, okay? That's a 5-6 month period. And if you guys understand what I'm going to be sharing in that masterclass, if you guys want the masterclass, like I said, if you want the masterclass, let me know in the chat by writing, I want the masterclass. Let me put the chat on so you guys can see exactly what's going on here. But again, guys, if you want the masterclass, let me know in the chat, I want the masterclass, because that's what makes the difference, guys. Training, understanding what you're doing under pressure, in the thick of it. When things get hard, when you think you've got no money, how can I invest? Guys, if you know what you're doing, you can work your way through. You can navigate your way through. So let's jump straight in. First, let's talk about how this secret is observed. Now, if you guys want this, let me see the word secret in the chat. Let me see the word secret in the chat. Let me see it, guys. Let me see the word secret in the chat. Okay. Now, without further ado, let's jump in. So let's talk about, first and foremost, how this secret is observed. Now, most of you know that I spend a lot of time on the show speaking to you guys about supply and demand, okay? Someone might argue that supply and demand is kind of like my favorite property principle, but it's not. Supply and demand is just my simple way of explaining to people in a language that they already understand how a market works. Okay, so a market works based on supply and demand, and I share this in multiple episodes. It's probably the last 7 episodes I haven't really spoke about supply and demand, but of the 68 episodes, you've probably heard me for 60 episodes talking about supply and demand. Now, supply and demand is something I regularly talk about, okay, on the show, when I present, etc., etc. But this is the reason why. It's because it's the foundation of how a market works. And most of you know that. Most of you understand exactly what I'm talking about because you've been on this show time and time again. Okay. And guys, if you've been here before, let me see BHB in the chat. I know Dana threw in the BHB before. If you're someone else who's been on the show before, if this is not your first time on the show, let me see the letters BHB, which stands for been here before, in the chat, please, guys. Let me know if you've been here before. If you're part of the Impact Squad, let me know by seeing BHB in the chat. Now, and for those of you who want the secret, I'm still waiting. Let me see the word secret in the chat. Now, supply and demand is fundamental to any market. Okay, it's the foundations of the market. Now, the recent business, okay, that I'm going to speak about. So I'm basically in today's episode, this is what I want to do, because I want to set this up for you guys really nicely. I want you guys to truly understand this. Okay, so supply and demand, let's go back to that because this is going to help you more. Supply and demand are two factors that work together or oppose one another. They can do either or. Okay, the supply in a market, okay, can meet a demand, or the supply in the market can be so low that it increases demand. Okay, that's another crazy thing. You see, you get people who sell like exclusive trainers sometimes, and when a person says, oh, these trainers, there's only 4 made in the world, what happens is it can increase the demand. It can make the 10 people who want to buy them. Then when they find out the price, those 10 people may tell another 10 people, and now there's 20 people who all want to buy the same pair of trainers. Okay, and you got to understand the reason why is because the exclusivity of those trainers is what sometimes, the limited supply of those trainers is what sometimes actually increases the demand. Okay, now we've seen that in property throughout 2020 coming into 2021. We've seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of reduced supply in terms of property because of things like the stamp duty holiday. And in today's episode on 68, we're going to be talking about the stamp duty holiday quite a bit. So please be mindful of that. So we've recently had quite a bit of busyness in the property industry, in the property field. Okay. But what that busyness has done, okay, it can make people or businesses that are not usually profitable, businesses that are not usually successful, to become successful. Okay, so have you heard the statement or the adage that people say sometimes, even an idiot can get rich in that climate? Okay, and these are the kind of things people say sometimes. They say, oh, even an idiot could have made money in that time. Even an idiot could have bought a house and generated a return in that time. You could have bought a lemon and made money at that time. Now, I want you to understand this, that there are seasons where that happens. There are seasons where even if you're not really truly educated in the property field, in the property know-how, you can still make returns. Okay, you can still make good returns at certain times. Okay, now most people don't understand that. Okay, most people don't understand how powerful what I'm talking about is. Most people do not understand, and this is why we're saying this is a secret, because most people have no clue about this. But most people don't understand that there are times in the market, in the property market or any other market, where by virtue of the busyness of the market, the pumped up activity, the enhanced and increased activity in the market, you and I and other people can win even by accident. Okay, and I want you to be very cognizant of this, because it's quite an important factor for where we're going with this. Okay, now this recent busyness, okay, inside of the property market can also allow even those who generally are considered to be overpriced in nature to actually generate a profit as well. Okay, and this is very important. So there may be businesses that usually are so high priced compared to their competitors that people don't usually work with them, or people don't usually deal with them, or people say, oh look, I'm never working with this company, I'm never working with that company. And that might be for any reason. It might just be because the company's overpriced. Now please guys, I hope you understand what I'm saying. When I use the term overpriced, I'm not talking about more expensive, okay? I'm not talking about more expensive, okay? I'm talking about overpriced. There's a slight difference, and I want you to catch that difference. To be more expensive, it's like my coaching program, okay? As of tomorrow we jump into August. As of tomorrow, our coaching program price increases. So we're probably already more expensive than other people, okay? But we're not overpriced. And the reason we're not overpriced is because the level of value we deliver is in keeping, okay? It's way beyond what we charge, okay? So that makes our price in keeping with reality, okay? So we're not overpriced, we may be expensive, okay? And again, that depends on who you are and how you factor things. But the point I want to make to you is I'm talking about a difference between being overpriced and being expensive, okay? So there are things out there that are expensive, okay? But there are also things out there that are overpriced. So for example, if you said to me, look, Samuel, I would like to buy your pen from you, okay? And I said, okay, cool, buy my pen from me, okay? And someone said, you know what, Samuel, I'll pay you £1 for the pen. Now, £1 a great price for the pen, but I know this pen costs more than £1, okay? Now, if you were there in Croydon Property Investors Network meeting in 2020 March, I think it was, you would have seen when I got this pen, you would have seen when I bought this pen, because I did not buy this pen in a shop, okay? I bought this pen from a guest at one of the networking events that I spoke at, okay? And I paid £5 for this pen. I actually gave the individual £5 for the pen, okay? Now, the reason I'm sharing that is because I want you to understand, if you said to me, look, Samuel, I'll buy your pen for £1, I might say to you, this pen's worth more than £1. Now, if you said to me, Samuel, I'll buy your pen for £5, I might say to you, to me, this pen's actually worth more than £5, because this pen was the pen that I was able to use to create an example in a room where clients decided to become clients. This pen is worth way more than £5. I hope you understand exactly what I'm breaking down to you. There's a lot more to this, guys. So I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, because you're going to need this as artillery to go into this secret with me. If you get it, just let me see in the chat, I get it. So this pen for me, there you go. This pen for me is worth more than £5, okay? So if someone says to me, they'll pay me what I paid for this pen, okay, I'm going to say to them, it's worth more than that to me, okay? Now, if someone says to me, look, Samuel, I'm going to pay you more than the coaching client paid you who signed up for your program, or the 10 coaching clients, or the 20, or however, I'm going to pay you more than all of that to buy your pen. Now, if sentimentally that was the value, I might say, okay, but I would consider that to be overpriced, if that makes sense, okay? Now, let me put it this way. You can buy a pen like this for probably about £3, £4, okay? Why would Samuel spend £5 on the pen? Because Samuel was teaching a lesson, and the lesson is always worth more than the money. But the reason I want to bring all of that in, and thank you to those of you who get it, the reason I want to bring all of that in is because I want you to understand something, that in some markets, let me give you an example, a market where there is no property for you to be able to buy, similar to what I shared with you on a news article in episode 67 last week. In a market like that, people will pay more than they should do. They will go overpriced in order to buy property, okay? People will do that. And those of you who were with us last week, you will know the article that I read last week and how that relates to exactly what I'm talking about. Now, how does this relate to the secret I'm speaking to us about today in today's show? Now, I want to share with you guys this because I want you guys to be very, very well armed. I want you guys to have all of the resources necessary to hand. I want you guys to be equipped. I don't want you to be disarmed or disempowered by the reality of how all of this works. Okay, if you're getting value on today's show, let me know by just writing the simple word value. Okay, now here we go. Okay, so awesome stuff. All right, now What I'm going to do to help you guys is I'm going to jump into an article to give you guys a bit more insights. Okay. And what I'm going to share, I'll share this statement categorically, because this statement's going to help you see exactly what I'm talking about as well. All right. And the statement is, over the last few months, okay, I want you to understand this, over the last few months, we've been seeing a short supply and high demand scenario. Okay. That's what we've been seeing in terms of property over the last few months. Okay. It might be a bit more than few months. Probably few months is probably not the best way to say it. But for a short while now, we've been seeing a scenario which looks like short supply and lots of demand. Okay. Now, one of the things I don't want to do is I don't want to share this with you guys in a way where you're not kind of cognizant of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to share this article with you. The article's not opening up properly, so you can see it on the screen anyway. You know what I'm talking about. So this is an article that was written by the Financial Times. Now, in this article, there were a few things that were shared which I wanted to bring to the fore, and I wanted to give you guys as an insight, so you guys would see exactly the secret that I wanted to share with you guys. And guys, this stuff's in plain sight. That's what I want to bring to your attention. I don't want you guys to think, oh, I have to go and, you know, do magic to work out what's actually going on. No, guys, this stuff is in plain sight. A lot of the stuff that I share with you guys is in plain sight. Okay. All right. Yogesh said, what time is phone in today, please? Yogesh, unfortunately, we won't be able to do phone in today. I think I shared that earlier on, just because every time we seem to be trying to get phone in ready in my office, there seems to be an internet glitch. So as I was mentioning earlier, Yogesh, feel free, just like everyone else, to drop something in the donation to work towards us getting our content creation studio up and running a lot faster, which hopefully will result in us actually being able to give you guys what you need, which is the call-in and everything else. All right, now let's see if I can get this on the phone, because it doesn't seem to be showing up properly how I'm trying to get it up on the screen for you guys. So I do apologize. We're working with the tech today. All right. Cool. All right. So this was a Financial Times article that recently was published. I read this article. What I'm noticing now is that my subscription isn't extended to the machine I'm using here. So I apologize, guys. All right. Now, when this article came out, what this article basically broke down is that Foxtons, okay, high street brand Foxtons that many of you guys know, who have predominantly been focused on the London market, okay, it basically shared that Foxtons, okay, had, for the first time in 2 years, actually made a profit as a business, okay. And what it went on to say was quite interesting. It went on to say that there were two categorical factors that had helped Foxtons in order to make a profit in the year 2020. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you so you see exactly what I'm talking about. It was basically saying from June, okay, of 2021 to the beginning of 2021, in that 6-month period, Foxtons had basically reported that they had made a profit, okay, of over £4 million. Okay, now I want to share this with you because I want you to understand something, because you might be thinking to yourself, oh, Foxtons, you know, Foxtons don't usually make a profit, or Foxtons usually make a profit. Foxtons is a big business. Foxtons make lots of money. Listen, they also contrasted that. And if any of you have a Financial Times subscription, you can go and verify exactly what I'm talking about. I'm throwing the link in the chat so you guys can go and do that for yourself. Okay. Now, reading this article, you can see the title of the article on the screen from when I put it up on the screen a moment ago. Estate agent Foxton selling homes at fastest rate in 5 years. Okay. And what the article breaks down is, for the last 5 years, Foxtons, the high street brand Foxtons, I'm going to say it again. What the article breaks down is that Foxtons, the high street brand Foxtons, the London focused estate agency Foxtons, made a profit in the year 2021. And it basically broke down that in the first 6 months of 2021, Foxtons were able to generate a pre-tax profit of in the region of £4 million. But it then went on to say, okay, not only had they generated a profit, but it gave some indications, as to how they made that profit. Okay, now it would have been great for me to be able to read the article to you guys as I usually do, but like I said, unfortunately, my subscription for FT isn't on this computer. Now, breaking it down. Foxtons, a high street brand, which most people probably think makes a lot of money every single year. Last year, okay, and I'm going to say this again because I want you to understand this. Last year, in the same period, this article goes on to say, Foxtons made a loss, okay? From January to June of 2020, Foxtons made a loss financially, okay? Their balance sheet was negative by the end of 6 months last year. And as you can see from the article heading, it said fastest rate in 5 years. So what that basically means is that they are generating profits in the year 2021 faster than they've ever generated profits in the last 5 years. Now, why is this important, and how does this show us a secret that Samuel Icanwin wants to bring to our attention? Now, I hope you are very much paying attention because I'm going to start to break things down. I started off by sharing with you guys that we've seen over the last few months a scenario which is a short supply, high demand scenario. How was that scenario created? It was effectively created by the Rishi Cynics of the world. It was effectively created by people saying, you know what, go and have a holiday from the stamp duty. And I shared with you guys on the show that what they were doing by giving you this holiday was basically deceiving people into thinking that property prices are going to become lower. Now look, let me say this because I've broken this down before, but I just want to share this in a snapshot. That wouldn't make any sense. Okay? The purpose of the stamp duty holiday was to stimulate the economy. A stimulation of an economy means more people spending money. And ideally, it means more people spending more money. So how does a government give you a stamp duty holiday, okay, and that result in more people spending money and ideally more people spending more money? Well, the way it works is exactly how I've explained on several episodes of the show in the past. It works by virtue of people, smart economists, people who have a good head on their shoulders, understanding that when you tell people there's a discount, what a lot of people do is they run towards the shop shelf. Now, the thing that's interesting is a discount in your mind, a discount in many people's mind, doesn't really necessarily mean it's a discount. This is why when you hear someone say, hey guys, on April 1st, on August 1st, on January 1st, we're upping our price, you shouldn't necessarily be afraid of that. You should just ask yourself, is the new price or is the old price, depending on what price you're getting in, is it justifiable for the revenue I'm going to make as a result of this? Or is it justifiable for the solution, the result I'm going to get as a result of this? I hope someone's picking up what I'm putting down. Again, if you guys get this just right, I get it in the chat. Now, the reason I'm sharing all this is because I want you guys to understand some basic fundamentals. The first fundamental I want you to understand is over the last few years, we've been seeing, well, predominantly throughout 2020 and coming into 2021, we have been seeing a market which is characterized by a short supply and a high demand. Okay? Now, because we've seen that from the market, the question is, well, what happens next? Well, let me tell you what happens next. The thing that happens straight after us seeing this short supply and this high demand is price increase, because that's what happens. When you have a short supply of any commodity and a high demand of that commodity, you see a price hike on that commodity. So when you say there's no stamp duty, there will be no stamp duty for X amount of time, people think there's a discount. So people run to the shelf, people run to the estate agents, people run to the shops, people say, okay, I want to buy now. And because people say I want to buy now, what generally happens is more people are trying to buy at the same time, which is the supply and demand scenario. And the moment you have more people trying to buy at the same time, you have a price hike. So prices go up. Now, like I said, for those of you who are interested, we will potentially be putting on a masterclass to help you guys understand how I'm going to be winning in Q3 and Q4 of this year. But what I want to share with you is these two things. First thing, we've seen the character of a short supply, high demand market. Second thing, we now see the Financial Times sharing that an organization like Foxtons, who through the 6 months of January to June of 2020 made a loss, in the 6 months of January to June 2021 made a profit, actually made a record profit, or actually a profit in record time. That's what it was. It's telling us something. It's telling us something, guys. And some of you are not going to realize what it's telling us. Okay. I'm going to break down 3 of the things it's telling us. And as I break those 3 things down, the second one is going to be the secret. Hope you're ready for this. You see, Foxtons is what we generally call an overpriced, loss-leading brand. Okay. And the reason why we say that is because what Foxtons do is a lot of the time when they go to someone's property, they actually overprice the property a lot of the time. And by virtue of them overpricing the property, that's, in my opinion, one of the main reasons why Foxtons isn't usually making a lot of money each year. Okay? Because what happens is if you overprice a property to sell it, and that person who's selling it through you just so happens to have what we call a multi-agency agreement, okay? Hashtag multi-agency agreement. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about a multi-agency agreement, just put the letters MAA in the chat. But what basically happens is if Foxtons and another agency are both marketing a particular property, and Foxtons puts that property on the market for £417,000 and the other agent puts it on the market for £400,000, who do you think is going to get the sale? Do you think Foxtons is going to get the sale? Foxtons are not going to get the sale in that price. Okay. Now, one of the other things that's quite important to share is in the Financial Times article, another thing they actually mentioned, which is quite important, is that this year, Foxtons actually bought another estate agency, an estate agency which is fully letting. So it's more a lettings agency, but they actually purchased a lettings agency. So we're gonna come back to that in a moment, because that's going to be an important point. Okay. So the first factor I want you guys to understand is that there's a sign being showed to you when a loss-leading estate agency starts to make bucks. It's telling you something. It's telling you something. And what it's telling you is our secret for today. Let's have a drum roll. Our secret for today, the simple secret. I hope you've got your pen. I hope you've got your paper. It's a simple secret, but please, guys, use this secret to change the rest of this year for you and your family. Okay, and if you need help to use this secret, I'm here for you guys. But the simple secret is this: making money in this climate is easy for anyone. You see, I usually stay away from the word easy. Okay, I usually veer towards the concept that things are not necessarily easy, but they are simple. And that is a concept that I hold true to. But when an organization that this time last year was losing money throughout the same 6-month period are now making money, and we can see the foundations of why they're making money, because the industry is characterized by a short supply, high demand environment. Let me tell you something. If you learnt the skill of finding great property deals, are you telling me you wouldn't be making money right now? If Foxtons are making money and this time last year they weren't making money? Guys, the writing is on the wall, proverbially, as they say. Now, the last thing I want to share on this Foxtons things, before the Foxtons aspect, before I go into a few deeper things, is this. One thing many of you do not understand is that letting, okay, renting, residual income, I'll say it in those 3 different ways, lettings and residual income is a key component to real profits, to generating real income, to generating real money. Okay, because some people watch this show and they're still got their flipper hat on. Hey Sammy, if I could just buy that for 100, spend 20 on it, sell it for 150, I'm made. Listen, that's great. That's great. If you want to flip property, that's great. Okay, I'm all for flipping property. I'll say it again, I'm all for flipping property. I'm all for it, guys. But one thing I want you to understand, when Foxtons report to be making a profit in 2021, in the first 6 months, I can probably assure you that part of that component is because they decided to buy out a lettings only organization. You see, and I just want to share with you guys, as people who are tuned into my community, people that are connected with me, to have that deeper understanding, to really understand that lettings, residual income, is a key core component to building real profitability and to developing real wealth. Okay? So there's the simple secret. Making money in this climate is easy for anyone. In a moment or two, after I share with you guys our key resource for this episode, I'm actually going to break down what this secret means for you as an investor. So don't go anywhere. Now, just to add a bit more of fire to the furnace, as they say, I also want to share with you something else. Something that I feel a lot of people don't actually do, but I think is crucial for you to understand. And where I get this idea from, I get this idea quite simply from the Bible. It's in Matthew chapter 13, verse 44. And it's one of my favorite parables in the Bible. Okay. And it says, the kingdom of heaven, okay, it says simple, it's about 3 lines. It says, the kingdom of heaven is like treasure that is hidden in a field. And it says, when a man finds that treasure, when a person finds the treasure in a field, they go and hide the treasure back in the field, okay, where they found it. They don't want to steal. They hide it in the field. They go and sell everything they've got, okay. They go and sell their car, their house. You know, they go and sell their investments. They go and sell everything they've got, and they come back and buy the field. Now, the reason I share that with you, Matthew chapter 13, 44, about the kingdom of heaven being like treasure hidden in a field, that when a man finds that treasure, he hides the treasure, goes and sells all of his own belongings, comes back and buys the field, is because when you buy the field, you own the treasure too. And the reason this is important is because what that parable teaches me, which it should teach you, is the power of commitment and the power of priorities. Because what it's basically saying is, when I identify something that is clearly more profitable than everything I've been working towards, I should get rid of everything I've been working towards in order to obtain the thing that is way more important. Now, Samuel, what are you saying? What I'm saying is, if you understand the simple secret I've just broken down, and like I said, after I share the key resource, I'll speak a little bit more on this. I'm actually going to share with you how this is going to be beneficial, why this is actually beneficial for you and I as property investors. If you understand all of this, if you understand the depth of what I've just shared with you, what you would now be able to do is actually stop focusing on the things that don't mean much and start focusing on the thing that does mean much as it pertains to property in terms of what we're talking about. So let me share the key resource and we will get straight back into what we're talking about as it pertains to what does this mean for you and I as property investors in a moment. So guys, let me just share this with you. If you haven't already gone and got yourself a copy of this ebook right here, the ebook's absolutely free. I want to encourage you to go and get the ebook. Now, this is the Sourcing Blueprint ebook. This is an ebook that I created in order to help you, okay, and your friends and your family to be able to find great property deals. That's it. It's that simple. The resource was created to help you find great property deals. Now, it is not a long read. It's not 200-300 pages for some of you, as I know you don't like to read. This is a very short ebook with an infographic and a breakdown of what that infographic means in order to help you move further faster in your property investing journey. So without further ado, go to the link. We'll throw that in the chat right now, sourcingblueprint.com, and go and get yourself your free ebook in order for you to understand how you can start to find your own great property deals and beat Foxtons at their own game. All right. Now, with that being said, let's jump right in to the last part of what we wanted to share with you guys on episode 68. So what does this secret actually mean for you and I as property investors? Okay, now it's fairly simple. Okay, I could make it more convoluted, but I want to open up for questions. I know that you guys may have questions for me. I want to open up for questions, Q&A, etc. Again, unfortunately, Yogesh won't be able to jump on the phone, but again, I will open up for questions and give you guys that for today. what does this mean for you and I as property investors? Now, the big thing this means is that we need to ensure at this stage right now that we have an income generating, an income generating component to our investing. Okay. So for those of you, like I mentioned earlier, who have been focused on just flipping, you just want to buy, you just want to refurbish, you want to sell, you just want to buy, you want to develop, you want to sell. For those of you who have got such an adamance around flipping property, this message is really for you. This is a big part of this message is for you. Okay. This means for investors who are just happy to sell. Listen, guys, true wealth, true income in terms of your investing components is going to be a byproduct of having residual income, having money coming in on a regular basis. Okay. The fact Foxtons decided to actually acquire a lettings organization is a key indication towards where they understand they've been going wrong. You need to have residual income. It makes a massive difference. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to share with you guys, because I want you guys to be mindful of this. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing I want to share with you is learn the skill of finding great deals. This is why we share with you guys the Sourcing Blueprint ebook all of the time. Link in the description, or link also in the chat for those of you who haven't got that ebook already. This is why we share these things with you guys, because what many people do as a mistake is they think that property is all about getting a discount. Okay. Or they think property is all about buying with other people's money. Okay. Or they think property is all about using a lease option. Let me share this with you guys. Look, the big aha moment that happened for me was the day that I realized that property investing, successful, let me add that because I think many people forget this. Successful property investing is all about one thing. Okay. It's all about one thing, guys. Okay, let me know in the chat if you know what that one thing is. Let me know in the chat what that one thing is. Okay, let me know in the chat if you know what the one thing is that successful property investing is all about. Okay, guys, I want you guys to share that with me. I want you guys to tell me what's the one thing that successful property investing is all about. Because what happens a lot of the time is people think, investing successfully in property is about I don't know. I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth. But let me tell you something. Successful property investing is about one thing and one thing alone. So let me know in the chat. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button. If you haven't hit subscribe, you know what to do. All right. If you're not a part of our channel, why not you become a part of the channel? All right, cool. All right. But like I said, guys, successful property investing is not about what many people say it's about. There's different things that it's about. Okay, there are different things that it's actually about. So don't be one of those people who doesn't know what successful investing is all about. All right, cool. All right, now you guys are going to let me know in the chat what the one thing is that successful property investing is all about. And as you guys do that, I'm then going to open up for Q&A and allow you guys to throw your questions in the chat. So if you have questions, feel free to throw your questions in the chat. We are here to answer your questions. Let me know if you've got questions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to throw your questions in the chat so we can answer those questions. Yes. What's the one thing successful property investing is all about, guys? Let me know in the chat. And we'll use that to move further faster in today's episode. Who's getting value, guys? Let me know if you're getting value on today's show. Let me know if you're getting value on today's show. Who's getting value? Just write the word value in the show, in the chat. Let me know if you're getting value on today's show. It's all good. All good. Okay. All right, we're opening up for Q&A. If you guys have questions, feel free to put your questions in. I've been told by the team I need to start timing the questions. So I will put one of my timers up. Just to give you guys that little time frame, but it is what it is. All right, and I'm gonna come back to this point we were sharing a moment ago as well. All right, so let me give you these 3 things as I wait for you guys to tell me what successful property investing is all about, and then we'll come back to your comments and after your questions, and then we'll also do some announcements just for you guys to be prepped. All right, so As I mentioned a moment ago, first thing is that you need to ensure that you have a residual cash income component to your business, to your property investing business. It's a crucial element in terms of investing. Okay, so again, like I said, that specific point is more so for those people who just want to get in and flip property. Rather than just flipping properties, have an income generating aspect to your property investing business. The next thing is that you need to learn the skill, okay, the simple skill of finding great deals, okay, and stop being led to the slaughter of mediocrity. Okay, now I'll say that because I want you guys to understand one of the biggest issues I find. Okay, one of the biggest issues I find is there are too many people who are trusting in estate agents, too many people who are trusting in mainstream media, too many people who are trusting in things that are not profitable nor supportive of your property investing journey. Okay, your schooling when you were young did not teach you how to invest in property. Why do you think mainstream media is going to teach you how to invest in property? Okay, your schooling when you were young did not teach you how to make money, you know, from great property deals. Why do you think they're going to do that now? Why do you think you're going to get that knowledge now from an estate agent, someone who went to the same school as you, studied the same thing as you, has never really gone out of their way to understand the depth of investing, the complexities of investing, what things really cost, etc., etc. So I want you to understand that. Okay, first thing, have a financial income, okay, a residual income as a component of your property investing business. Second thing, okay, and this is all off the secret that now is the easiest time to invest in property. Now is the time. What many people think, oh no, it was 2006. Listen, 2006 is gone, but now is here now. And if you don't make the step now, I don't want you in 2034 saying, oh, but 2021 was the time. 2021 was the time. You know, 2020, you know, I was listening to this guy, Samuel, and, you know, he told me and he even showed me and he even broke it down. And, you know, I was on the live show. Let me tell you something. Being on the live show every week is not setting you up for success in and of itself. I just want to be that transparent with you guys. Being on the live show every week is not setting you up for success in and of itself. Let me tell you something. If that was the truth, if the live show in and of itself was setting you up for success exclusively without you needing anything else, I wouldn't have coaching clients. I wouldn't have online students. I wouldn't have people that pay me for a 60-minute strategy session, for a 30-minute coaching session. It wouldn't happen, guys. I want you to understand that it wouldn't. Why would someone pay me for something that I'm giving away for free? I want you to tell me that, because this is the biggest mistake many people make. People think, oh, you know what, I'm getting all this free content, I know what I'm doing, I'm gonna win. Listen, I hope you do win on your own, okay? But what I want you to understand is when people say, you know what, I'm gonna take that next step, I'm gonna prepare myself to win. This is why those of you who said in the chat, I want the masterclass, I want the masterclass, I want the masterclass, okay? You people who have said in the chat, I want the masterclass. This is why you people are very intelligent people, because you understand that from something like a masterclass, that's where you're going to get better prepared in order for you to move forward. You see, but some people do not understand the complexities and the depth, okay? The complexities and the depths of actually taking on board the information I'm talking about. When you say to yourself, you know what, yes, I want that masterclass. I need that masterclass. I need to be in a position where I can actually get the content, the value that Samuel's actually talking about. I need that. Okay? I'm seeing your comments coming in, guys. Yeah, mindset is powerful, but mindset's not the most important thing. I can assure you of that. I've learned that. There's some people with the wrong mindset, they still manage to get some deals. They still manage to build wealth in property. Okay? Thank you. I got Mandy in the chat. She says value. Thank you, Mandy. I got KTR in the chat. KTR says it's about the seller, finding the seller. Okay. Yogesh says networks. Thank you, guys. I've got these comments coming through. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm not sure if my comments are coming through slow today, but I am seeing the comments coming through. So thank you, guys. Okay. So guys, I want you to understand that. Yogesh says value. I see his comment. Okay. I want you guys to understand that it's not always what you think is the key to actually transitioning forward. The real key, KTR has alluded to it, And that doesn't surprise me, because KTR has worked with me for 6 months on a coaching program. KTR has been on one of our boot camps. Guys, again, let me know. Write the word boot camp in the chat if you want us to run another boot camp. Okay, if you'd like us to run another boot camp, write the word boot camp in the chat. We generally do a 5-day boot camp in order to equip you guys in your property journey. But KTR has said, you know, it's about finding the seller. And it's similar to that. What's basically happened, okay, the real actual key is finding great deals. Okay, that's the key. That's the key to all of property. That's the key to all of property. So let me give you these 3 points, and then we'll open up for Q&A. 3 points in terms of what does this mean? What does this secret actually mean for you and I as property investors? The first one is it means that we should have an income generating component in our property investing business. The second one means, the second key, the second thing that this means for us as property investors is we should learn the skill. Okay, I'm going to say that again. We should learn the skill, because it is a skill. Okay. We should learn the skill of finding great deals. That is the key. That's the key core component of property. That's what I had to wake up and realize one day. Whilst I had people telling me, no, it's about getting below market value deals. No, it's about doing lease options. No, it's about this HMO strategy. No, it's about, guys, let me tell you something. It's not about any of those things. It's about the ability, the skill to find great property deals. When you develop that skill to find great property deals, that's when people say to you,
yes.
That's when everything changes for you. That's when you start living a different life, because you now have a power to not only find opportunities for you to possess, for you to buy, for you to generate income from, but also for you to sell, for you to trade, for you to give to other people and generate a revenue from also. So the first point I shared earlier is we need to have an income generating aspect component to our property business. The second point I shared with you guys is we need to develop the skill of finding great deals. But the third thing that this means for you and I as property investors, we had this alluded to right here when I shared with you Matthew chapter 13 verse 44 from the Bible. And that's when you know this makes sense, you've got to go all in. And this is the reason I was talking about the coaching clients. This is the reason I was talking about the boot camps and all of these other things, because I want you to understand that there are people that make the decision to go all in and they shift everything in their life. So you have to make the decision to go all in. With that being said, guys, send me your comments and questions in the chat. Let's jump into the chat and have a little bit of a live discourse right now. We can do that for, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes. I'm open to staying for 30 minutes. Let me get my timer, guys. Let me get my timer. Guys, give me 1 minute. Let me just pick up my timer from my desk. I'm going to be taking questions right now. And I am, straight after I get the timer, not only be taking questions but also reading comments. Let's jump in. Okay, guys, I'm back. Timer's here. Like it says, hit subscribe, press like. You know what to do if you haven't done it already. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm setting the timer. You guys can all see this on my desk, so you know I'm not lying to you. I'll set the timer and we will take questions. All right. Timer is going. Let's jump in. All right, guys, so questions, comments, live chat is available. Let us see what you guys are asking right now, and we'll jump straight into the comments and the questions. Guys, I hope you got value from today's show. If you got value, let me see in the chat. the word value if you've got value. Also, guys, let me say this. I always want to make sure I don't forget to say this. A great big thank you to every single person who's hit subscribe. We have been tracking forward past 400 subscribers, guys. I want to share a big appreciation with you. I thank you. I appreciate you. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And guys, we are going there. We are going there. It's going to take time, but we're going there. And guys, you guys are the people that help it to not take so long. All right, so share this video. If you haven't shared this video, share this video. All you've got to do is tag us. That way we know you're sharing as well. Jump into Instagram, hit share, share the video, and just put at Impact Properties London. Share us on Facebook. Share the video, guys. Share the content. So a great big thank you to all of you guys who have let me know that you're winning. All of you that have subscribed to the channel. All of you that have donated. All of you that have bought us stuff through the Amazon wish list. Guys, we appreciate you. That's what I want to let you know. We appreciate you. Lots of stuff are coming through in the post that we basically were looking forward to using for the show. The funniest thing is, even our content creation studio, we've got equipment here in my office now that has come through because of the Amazon wish list. So guys, again, thank you for that. I'll be throwing the links in the chat just to help you guys if you want to utilize that. Yogesh is going for it. He's saying coach, mentor. He's saying communication, persistence. Yogesh is throwing all the words in the chat. I love it. So guys, again, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, feel free to just click the link. And as you click that link, you'll be able to contribute to our studio build, or you'll be able to donate to the channel. And all the links are in the description for those of you who are watching on a replay. And that's what it is. All right. So let me jump into the chat. Let me jump into the comments. Let me see what you guys are doing. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys are saying. What's happening in the community. Okay. Okay, I don't think I got to tell you guys about some of this stuff because you guys know about some of this stuff already. So that's all good. Okay, I got my chat up now. That took a while. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. All right, so. KKKKK. All right, we got the technicals from earlier on. Good stuff. Apologies, guys. I'm just trying to make sure that I've got all of the chat, because I know earlier on it looked like I wasn't getting all of the chat coming through. Cool. All right. Cool. And to those of you who want the masterclass, keep letting me know, guys. Let me know so we can arrange that for you. All right. Okay. Okay, so first question I've got coming through, I think, is from Yogesh. Yogesh asked the question, do you think building materials will reduce in price? I can't see that happening for the time being. Usually, just to answer Yogesh's question expansively, there's a ripple effect from the property market into the surrounding industries. And typically what will happen is when property prices go up, resources and materials go up. And the reason they go up is because effectively, if you're paying more for a house, you should be paying more to get it done. That's kind of the psychology philosophy behind the supply and demand market. So as a direct byproduct, what generally tends to happen is people end up paying more for these materials. But the problem is when property prices dip, which happens sometimes, they don't end up paying less for the materials. It takes a slower time. It takes a longer time for that ripple effect of reduced prices to influx into the market. And usually with materials, it's not the price of materials that directly goes down. It's the price of labor that usually goes down first. And then after the price of labor going down, then you see the price of materials be affected by that afterwards. So hopefully that answers your question, Yogesh. Let me know how many stars you put in the chat for the answer to that question. All right, another question from Yogesh. Yogesh says, if lending money out, is it legal to loan money to a friend from me personally? Yes. It's you're not breaking the law if you loan money to a friend. You can loan money to me. I'm your friend Yogesh and everyone else on the channel. Yeah, but basically, guys, it's not illegal to loan money to a friend. What I would advise you to do is, if you are loaning money to a friend, make sure that they or you have some kind of agreement that's drafted up that you both agree with. But yeah, it's totally fine to loan money to friends. It's not a legal requirement that the person can't be your friend or whatever. All right. Yogesh says, another question, powerful question. If loaning money, what due diligence should be done? Is a restriction on a property with plenty of equity good security? Okay, I would say that's a good question. Like, I would say no. That's me personally. Like, and this is the reason why I'd say no. I've been in the property space for a while now. Probably 10 years, around 10 years. If you include my estate agency background, we're talking 15 years. And one of the things I'd say to you is that people don't get right is people think that, oh, I've got security on this person's house with lots of equity, so therefore they can't not pay my money. Let me share this with you. Okay, there are many people who have given people security on equity on their properties and not come true, not delivered on the actual original loan or the original investment. And it can still happen. And you don't just end up having the equity in their new house. And another thing is, even if you do end up having some of the equity or all of the equity in their new house, you don't just end up being able to force them to sell to liquidate the equity for you. Okay, and this is one of the myths that many people go by. And what I would say, and again, guys, like I said, in the disclaimer, go get financial advice, go get legal advice, get advice from the right people. But technically what I'd say to you is, if you are going to actually loan somebody money, loan them money because you trust them, loan them money because you like them, loan them money because even if they didn't pay you the money back, you'd be okay to still communicate with them. Like, it wouldn't have an effect on your relationship. And that's really what I found to be a great foundation whenever I'm loaning or giving people money. Okay. And I add the giving because I've done that before. Okay. I'm not necessarily telling you to do that, but I have done that before. I've given people money in order to go forward in their property journey. But that's something I believe in. There was someone who paid for my dad to have an education in the UK. There was someone who helped my dad to migrate from Africa to the UK. So I also have that passion to want to do similar things for other people as well. And because property is the industry and sector I'm in, it only makes sense to do that in property. So yeah, another great question, Yogesh. Let us know in the chat how many stars you give to that answer. All right, another question from Yogesh. Guys, let us know if you got questions. Throw your questions in the chat. Another question from Yogesh. Yogesh says in this question, how do you find a good valuer and solicitor for lease extensions, please? All right. So what I would say to you is, and again, another great question, Yogesh. And the reason this is a good question is because there are many people out there who are solicitors, but not necessarily very good at lease extensions. And then the same thing when it comes to valuers. Now, obviously, short leases is a strategy that I spent a number of years working on. So many people know me for short leases. There are people that know me for rent to rent. There are people that know me for short leases. Most people know me for my property sourcing skills. And again, a whole bunch of people know me for my ability to teach this stuff. But what I would say to you, Yogesh, is if you're trying to find a good valuer, and if you're definitely trying to find a good solicitor for lease extensions in this current climate, the best way to do that is through recommendation. The reason I say in this current climate is because there's a lot of networking organizations that haven't they haven't come back to physical networking. So you could go by online networking, but I'd say, I don't want to use the term that it's died the death, but I think online networking has kind of had its place. And I think a lot of people are realizing that online networking just isn't the same as live networking. One of the things I don't want you to do is try to use an online networking platform to find these people and find out very quickly that the people you found haven't really got a recommendation base which is solid. Okay, but irrespective of that, now might be a great time to start looking for recommendations, just to put the feelers out in maybe WhatsApp groups you're in, or with specific direct contacts you have who you know are doing short lease strategies or other strategies where they need to extend leases, and just ask people like, who's the best person that you've used to, you know, that's a great way, a great conversation starter as it pertains to looking for people's contacts and stuff like that. All right, guys, the timer is running down, so let me know if you got questions, because when it's time to be out, you know me, I will be out and spending time with my family. So let me check and see if there's any other questions. I got KTR who says finding motivated sellers on buyers. Thank you, KTR. A lot of fiery comments from KTR today. KTR, I can tell you are ready to go. Appreciate that. We got the comment from Yogesh. He said about mindset being the key as it pertains to helping people move forward. All right, great comment. Let me jump back into the comments. Yogesh, you need to give us stars for every single answer that you got, please. Every single answer you got, give us the star rating so we know that you got the from the answer. All right, cool. Let me check that we got everything in place here. Okay. It don't look like you guys are asking many questions today. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. I will not complain, guys. I will not complain. Okay, so I'm just going to check the last few comments to see if we've got anything else coming in. And if not, we're going to be calling tonight's show a wrap and telling you about something that you can jump into. All right, Yogesh says he totally agrees. Now is a great time to invest. Yogesh threw all the words out here: culture, mentor, persistence, communications. And Yogesh says it was a 5-star answer. All right, guys. Well, with all that being said, looks like you guys got massive value from tonight's show. And I'm glad to have been able to be a part of that for you. So with all of that being said, it's my time to tell you that if you haven't gone to watch this video, go watch this video, why you can't sell your house. This is a video we dropped very recently, and I'm telling you, this video is going to give you some very key insights as it pertains to your property investing journey. So guys, with all of that being said, Sammy, I can win. It's my time to go. Happy investing. I'll see you on the next one.